that love is uncontrollable force. It's a silent killer that shows up.
All right, let's go. And how y'all doing today? How you doing today, brother?
Feeling great. How are you doing?
Man, I'm good, man. Welcome to the Say Your Peace podcast, man.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. We are here in a new location, in a beautiful, vibrant location here in Oakland at the Oakland Podcast Studios. So we want to clap it up for them.
Applause. It actually is beautiful. Yeah. The aesthetic is nice. Got nice lighting.
It's lovely.
This is official.
It's lovely. Now I like the 81st Street Library, what I usually do it out of, but I feel a little bit more at home right here.
Upgraded.
A little upgraded, man. We got the suede, got the carpet and stuff.
Yeah, very
take
nice.
Your shoes off.
Thank you for hosting me, by the way.
Thank you for being here. You know, at the Say Your Peace podcast. If I could do a introduction for you, I'll call this brother the Pharaoh. The reason why I call him the Pharaoh is because not just his stage performance, but everything about this brother. If you ever are fortunate enough to get to meet this brother, this is the most generous, bright, intelligent brother that just shines his light on people, whatever room he comes into. So I really appreciate that, man. I appreciate us being able to be in community with each other through poetry. I always love poetry because poetry has brought like minds to me, and I just have such an appreciation of good people, and I just want to say thank you for being you and always being you.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Swerve. I appreciate you likewise. I agree in that poetry allows us to bring symmetry and balance to our temples.
Right.
I appreciate you giving me the nickname Pharaoh, in the sense that I do believe that we all have divine and royal nature. And through spoken word, we're able to actually activate our divinity internally. And from that divinity, as human beings in the three-dimensional field, we do have royal connection to a source or a higher power.
Right.
And so I do believe that that we have the capability to be royal or divine in nature. And, if you attribute that to like the constructing of the pyramids, the original geometric, the symbolism, the culture of the indigenous or ethnic, male, female, that we do have that royal nature. So I appreciate that.
Most definitely. And just to go a little bit deeper, like, I don't know if you've ever been, you've always been like this. I know everybody's life is a journey, but I feel like, it looks like a death of an ego when it comes to you. And a lot of comedic culture is about killing that ego. It's about taking those fragmented pieces with stuff that whether it was trauma or anything that happened in our lives and putting it back together so we can become whole. Was this always you? I know at the core it was always you, but we go through stuff in our lives and shit.
Right. So my first ego death happened at 9 or 10 years old.
Wow.
I found like desire in and of itself is where we open ourselves up to influence, because influence is what shapes us in social settings, especially in our youth. There are these vulnerable ages where the desire to be accepted or a part of a social group gives us a choice. You have your personal self, which is unified. Your primary influences are mother and father. So you got masculine, feminine, right? Every person in this room watching has aspects of their personality that are crafted by their originators, their parents.
Yeah.
But then we grow into adolescence and hormones start kicking and our brains start seeing the outside world and influences. And then we have a choice because we have our original two influences, our mother and father, our masculine side, our feminine side. But then we go into social structures, education, society. And then we're offered alternatives. And so my first ego death came as a result of seeking camaraderie and desiring to be accepted by peers. In the public school system.
That part,
In urban setting. during a time when chemical drugs were saturated in the community, during a
Right.
time when there were a lot of temptations and choices that
Right.
led many youth astray, and then different families and social structures where other people's mothers and fathers
Yeah.
projected on or influenced them to be who they were. So by
Yeah.
me seeking influence or seeking acceptance from others,
Yeah.
I took on influences and I had a choice. Is this who I am?
Mm-hmm.
Is this who I am?
Yeah.
And if it didn't, when it didn't feel good at 9 or 10 years old for me,
Mm-hmm.
I had to look within,
Yeah.
but then also accept not being accepted.
Yeah. But you learn a piece of yourself. You learn a lot about yourself, right? Through that process of, of feeling hurt, feeling rejected by those guys that you thought was cool. I remember I was in the 6th grade. It was this 8th grader. His name was LB. LB was cool. He had all the ladies. He was doing his thing. And LB kind of took me under his wing.
Okay.
And I remember one day we was at the bus stop, and I ain't never smoked before. I was 11. And we go down to the bus stop, and he take a joint out of his pocket, and he was just like, "Little nigga, you smoke?" And I was just like, yeah, I ain't never smoked before."
Oh, right.
But I was trying to gain that acceptance, and then but he was such a real person that he passed me the joint. I hit it and started coughing. He was like, "Man, you don't smoke. Man, give me this back." So I see the influences, how it can start.
So that example is great. The what I had was it was the desire. It was the same thing. It was like everybody was like, "Who you go with?" And at 9 or 10 years old, I had no sexual inclination. I was like, I'm at school to learn. I had no identity in that realm. I was like learning how to write on paper and arithmetic and syllables, and I was at school to learn. And I went from being in a private school setting to a public school setting. So the first 3 or 4 years, from age 5 to 9, I was in a private school setting, which was tranquil, really tranquil, into the public school system. And I got to the public schools, and it was like really the females that really were hard on me. And I believe that really wanting to be understood and accepted by females led me to being like, you talk funny. You talk too proper. You sound like a white boy. And there was all these projections coming from female figures. I mean, my mom, that's a whole different chapter. But what I'm saying is, my desire to be accepted by females led me feeling like never good enough.
Yeah.
And then what they were attracted to might have been the more rugged or aggressive, toxic male figure. You know what I mean? That was what. So by me talking proper now, I'm a bitch now because I talk proper.
Yeah.
Oh, and you know what I mean? Without getting into all the language, very hurtful language.
Yeah.
That made an impression on my subconscious in reference to like, okay, so if what it takes for me to be accepted is to be something that I'm not, then I'm alone.
Yeah.
And the desire in and of itself opened me up to disappointment. And from disappointment, I went into isolation.
Oh.
So, and then also I just started to read energy. So I'm big on energy. So it's like, so yeah, those are some of the things. So the ego death, it was like, damn, this person doesn't care, I'm gonna say it straight up. Like, I remember one peer of mine, his name was Alonzo, and he was cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he'd be like, we niggas, and I'm like, is that really, what is that though? He's like, you're black. I'm like, but I was like, I don't understand what you're saying. What is that?
Yeah. Yeah.
And the thing is that my parents come from like a very blended background. My great grandmother was Catherine Fairfax of Fairfax, Virginia. When I was growing up, she would tell stories about how my ancestors on the East Coast from her side of the family were fair-skinned offspring of slave masters, but who had been granted the ability to educate themselves, and they enforced that I was not and am not a nigga.
Come on now. Come on now.
And they and my great grandmother instilled this in me from a very young age.
Yeah.
Right. So that's
Great
what I mean.
grandmother.
A great grandmother, Catherine
Yes.
Fairfax.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you got, like I say, you have the masculine, feminine, your mother, father, your great grandfather, your grandmother, your great grandfather, your great grandmother, and they were big on just uplifting us as children.
Right.
So when I went out into society, I had this dissonance that
Yeah.
happened because I was like, you know, I'm Salim.
Yeah.
I'm Charlie Salim, right?
Yeah.
I'm, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not a nigga.
Yeah.
Like, if you're gonna call me anything, call me by my name, nigga. Shut up,
Yeah.
nigga. Shut up.
Yeah.
And that was all I got. And if it's
Yeah.
like, oh, if you're not a nigga, you a white boy. Then, oh, you talk like a white boy. Why you talk so proper?
Yeah.
You're a white boy. So
Yeah.
then now people that I want acceptance from have stamped something else on me.
Yeah.
And one of my best friends up the street
Yeah.
is Caucasian.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm not him, but it's like, this social shit is just confusing me now.
Yeah.
Now it's like, who am I then? So instead of me trying to accept these phrases, these terms, these labels,
Yeah.
I fell all the way back because
Yeah.
it hurt. It's like being destroyed internally. Like,
Yeah.
it's like a demolition job,
Yeah.
you know, as a youth, you know, 9 years old, 10 years old. Sometimes when I see 10 years old, when I see young people now, I like mourn my childhood in terms of being baptized in the social rites and rituals of being accepted in groups. So I'm big on just using my emotions as the measurement of whether or not a relationship or a connection is healthy for me. Because if I have to compromise my dignity, my respect, my name to be accepted,
That's real.
I don't want nothing to do with it. I'd rather be alone and meditate
Right.
and get in tune with my source or talk to my ancestors. What I mean by that is remember the lessons that I was taught by my ancestors when they were uplifting me as a child,
Right.
nurturing me.
Right.
I like nurturing relationships. That's
Right.
all. That's the bottom line. I love nurturing
Right.
relationships.
Right. And I'm glad you said that because it's just recently I've been going on that same journey you took when you was 9 and I'm not going to say losing a lot of friends, but I'm going to say that a lot of friends kind of like falling off and me being more isolated. But I read something that says when you introduce a man or you introduce a woman or whatever you identify to knowledge, that it's hard pretty much to just hang out with anybody. You know what I mean? It's hard because it's like it's so much that you know now, it's so much that you appreciate about yourself that you're not just gonna take these insignificant titles and just to be friends with people, be in company with people, and and let alone do the same stuff that they do when you take out the influence of like drinking and smoking and all the dumb shit that comes along with that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
I will say that I could resonate with that. I think there's a value to breaking yourself down and being vulnerable with others. But the question is there guilt, shame, anxiety, fear, anger, or hatred attached to the aftermath of it? Because there are ways that we can self-medicate, relax, chill, smoke, drink, and enjoy it.
Yeah.
However, once that veil gets thin, and if you're in the company of people who are vibrating at a level that induces shame, guilt, fear, anger, then you render yourself affected by those things, and now you're going to take that back into the land of the sober.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And now an impression has been made on your subconscious, so now you start to feel those, I call it like the hormones get released into your bloodstream as you're navigating the world. And then the hook of addiction becomes, I got to get back to that place. So then that's like, I'm going back to the liquor store. I'm about to cop me an eighth of weed now. Because your body, because I've been reading so many books on neuroscience and psychology.
Let's get into it.
And so it's like, by reading these books, I'm starting to realize that I allowed these hooks to become a part of my persona or personality.
Yeah.
And now these become the crutches that I'm using to relieve myself from self-imposed trauma. by seeking acceptance in social groups where I want to be accepted, and their influences are spiraling me downwards.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying but I enjoy my tree though.
Yeah.
You know, and I,
For sure.
But as I matured now, I'm at a place where I just set strict rules around it.
Yeah, definitely. And man, I like all of that. And definitely when you start talking about like the hormones and stuff like that, like the false sense of dopamine and the serotonin and the oxytocin, which our body naturally produces,
Yes, it does.
It makes me think about like this mental health crisis that we're going through. All over the world. I don't want to just say here in the U.S. And everybody having something wrong with them, but it's a chemical imbalance of sort. And the reason why, like, we kind of just want that quick hit, like a pill, like an aspirin, to knock out that headache, instead of saying, hey, I need to go walk in nature. Hey, I need to go take a run. Hey, I need to maybe watch my favorite movie or journal or something like that. And then you start kind of just trying to tell people that, and people kind of like, well, I'm not ready for that. No, I'll just take a shot instead.
Right. External locus of control, like external stimulation releasing the hormones that give us the experience versus the internal work to sit in the feelings and then to activate the body to produce its own. So the external source would be the cognac.
Yeah.
The tree, perhaps.
Yeah.
If for people who are into chemical drugs, I'm not going to be naive. Some people are into the powder, right? Or whatever it might be.
Yes.
The internal stimulation is the wind sprints, the physical fitness, the calisthenics, the gallon of water, the deep breathing, and the energy activation by doing energy work. And I had a chiropractor named Kate Russell. Shout out to Kate Russell. She taught me in my 40s how to activate my lower bodies. You know, because like you have your upper body, your upper regions. You have your crown, your third eye, your throat, your heart, solar plexus, base of the spine, seat of the soul, the sacral chakras. You got these regions in your body.
Yeah.
And this is not new age religion. It's your temple.
Yes. Yeah.
It's your body.
Yeah.
And like you said, your body already produces all of these hormones. So externally, there are these substances we can do to activate those things and feel that way. Sometimes, you get woozy and you start fainting, right?
Yeah.
But if you exercise enough, you can activate exactly the same release of the same hormones and have a much more pleasant experience without the hangover.
Right. Exactly.
So back to Kay Russell, she used to do a touch form of chiropractic work on me, because some chiropractors do more manual adjustments. They like crank on your neck or snap your ribs, or you know what I mean, adjust your pelvis and stuff like that. But she would lay me on my stomach, and then she would touch like an area on my back, and she'd say, "Charlie, can you breathe into this area?" And I'd be like, "Breathe into that area? What do you mean?" But then I realized it wasn't breath she was talking about. It was the energy field. So, I mean, I'm gonna break it down in real clinical terms, because if you fill your lungs up right now to the bottom, like until it hurts a little bit, and then at the same time as you exhale, squeeze the rectal muscles that you use to hold your urine, your pee, or to hold back feces before you take a bowel movement. And pardon me for using clinical terms, but I like to keep things real clinical and clean when I communicate. Because that way it doesn't go into the area of perversion. Right? You know what I mean? Like if I say, hey, squeeze your nutsack in your asshole, you would be like, oh, pause. You know what I mean? I'm more on some like, this is your temple.
This what we talking about. You can't confuse the shit.
Let's not get sensitive about the fact that we all have these natural functions that exist. And so I learned how to like activate my lower bodies by visualizing. Recognizing that the nervous system is a series of connections, synaptic connections between the cerebellum and the back of the brain into lymph nodes and nerve structures that move through our whole bodies. And so the more I dealt with healers, the more healthy I started feeling about my body. So all the shame attached to the language that was used, castigating me for being proper speaking or whatever other people were projecting on me in the community that I wanted acceptance from.
Yes.
When I got around healers, it's like you don't have to feel ashamed about your feelings. And as a man, you know, feelings, you know, a lot of us be like, I ain't getting in my feelings. That didn't serve me. You know what I mean? So when I started really associating with healers and then willfully taking on the influence of healers, started feeling a lot better about my temple, my body and my mind. And then that's where the sacred energy comes from, which is where the XY chromosome comes. That's where the sexy comes from. That's where the sexy comes from. Because we have sacred energy. S-E.
That's why you sexy set. Okay. I never asked you that. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah,
so that's so it's sacred energy.
Okay.
Because sacral energy is where the creative energy comes from.
Right.
Our mothers and our fathers. We have a masculine side and a feminine side.
Right.
Okay. Another some more science and math about sexy sex.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Before I have a thought.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
So, what you talking about the sacral energy and just like filling up and stuff like that, y'all. I asked my boys this, and I don't know if it went over their head or not. I said, "Do you believe men can get pregnant?"
That's a funny one.
And not with a baby, right?
I like where you're going with this. I get it.
Go.
I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. So women have like a menstrual cycle, right?
Yeah.
And we men, like, we don't have ovaries, but our ovaries are actually in our scrotum. They're hanging off our bodies. So the structures, womb man versus man. We have an outer facing creative nozzle.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's just the geometry is inverted for a woman. Her eggs are in here. And her cervix and womb goes this, and our what would be our eggs are externally facing, and the space that fills the cervix goes out. So like, so yeah, men can get pregnant. It's just we don't birth children.
Yeah,
we birth energies and ideas.
Come on now. And that's exactly what I was talking about. When you have these grand ideas, and it can come from fasting, right? And I believe like when you're not using your sacral energy in the wrong way, and you're not just giving it to anybody, or you're not just popping it off, what we will call blue balls, right? Is an energy that can be redirected and funneled into other areas if you have purpose. And sometimes you probably don't even need purpose. Sometimes you can create on accident, right?
Right. Well, those are the random thoughts that run through your mind, like when your body's activating or you feel like this vacancy. Like sometimes it's not, women have premenstrual syndrome. Have you ever had intercourse or done the manual, masturbated, and then felt empty afterwards?
For sure.
And a little sick, right? And not sick, but just like you emptied yourself, and now there's a vacancy there. Yeah. And then as you start to regenerate what was released, then there's like this other spiral that occurs, and it feels like what I feel maybe women go through in premenstrual syndrome, right? It's like almost like a stomach ache. Right. So it's like you're regenerating what you released, which is the potential of life. Yeah. That whether it was used to create a life or just flush down the toilet on a napkin. Yeah. You know what I mean? That was your choice. Right. But if you once we master ourselves and our power and potential, we could use that energy to create. And that's where that's where the journaling comes in. Yeah. That's where going through the uncomfortable feelings comes in. That's where acknowledging the intrusive, unpleasant thoughts from childhood comes in. Yes. That's where like battling with free will and a very interesting society where people are using people to fulfill their internal needs while not caring about the person who they're using to fulfill their internal needs comes in. That's where we have so many ways to go with that.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. I always want to know that, and I knew you would break it down in a good way, so you know that we all can digest that, man. Appreciation.
Yeah. Likewise. Yeah.
Yeah. Just to switch gears, just a little bit. You feel me? At the Say Your Piece podcast, where you roll your piece in a leaf or a paper with a crease.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Again, we are here at the Oakland Podcast Studios. I got to give a shout out to these great and wonderful people for doing their thing and hosting us today. But like I said before, Pharoah is a person that I wouldn't be sitting here if it wasn't for you. And the reason why, I had one of those big ideas. However, I didn't know how to get started. I was talking to Ghost. Shout out to Upside Down Ghost and Afro ENT. You know,
we all we got.
We all we got. Yeah, I mean, my collective of poets, and just artists and entrepreneurs. And shout out to O2 for making getting us in connection and community. He said reach out to Salim. He said reach out to Sexy Sex, ask him about podcasts. And we reached out, and not more than 24 hours later, you gave me a video with all the rundown of how to get started. And I've been so appreciative because this has not only been a hobby, this has been such a way to help others and help myself at the same time.
Yeah.
It's been a journey of mental healing and wealth. And what we're putting into this digital space and this physical realm right now, and all the people that sat here is a reflection of the knowledge that you have bestowed upon me. I do have a confession though. My confession is that you remember that chain you gave me?
Uh-huh.
I was outside playing with my kids, and it came out of my pocket in the park.
That's all right.
And I felt so bad. I searched high and low for that, brother. Right. And I could not find that. And it's been on my heart to tell you, but not just tell you. I also want to gift you something for that, and because I know you always gift us.
All right.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
so
cool. I'll accept.
I got a bag full of stuff for you, brother.
Water.
Yeah, I mean, hydrate me. Yeah, I mean,
socks.
Yes, sir.
You know, these are things. Oh, really?
Come on,
for
man.
real, man. All
yeah.
right. Yeah, thank you. I'm a man.
Yeah,
man. Thank you. This is cool, man.
Yeah,
very nice, and it's good. You know, the thing about us as like I love to see. That's sweet, bro.
Yeah, right on.
Oh man, thank you.
Yeah.
I love to see people win.
Yeah.
It's difficult in a world where we have these egos, we have these personalities, we have these ambitions, and there's scarcity. Self-imposed scarcity, the concept that I would be in competition with you for more views, or I'd be in competition with you for more motion, or that if we're in the same place and there's only one female, that I've got to outrank you to try and impress someone, as though there's a scarcity of love in the world, right? Or opportunity in the world.
Yes.
Not realizing if we just leave the venue where there's only one female and walk out into the world, we collectively can attract not only females, but a community of people who want to see each other win. All these things are just concepts that I struggle with because, so you're welcome.
Thank you.
Ultimately, because we sometimes have a habit of, when comparing ourselves to others, wanting someone to be less than their greatest self so that we appear more radiant. We have that. It's a human trait.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, I guess it's the way we're wired. Competition is, and there are healthy forms of competition.
Yeah.
But when someone asks me like for information, and I might have I don't become less of a person by offering information or resources to someone who's parallel to me, because I imagine that when you're on your own, you're going to take the tools and do something great with it.
Right.
You're not going to weaponize the information to destroy the community.
Right.
Based on the person I've met and the person I've seen.
Right.
And so it's an honor to pass on information, and thank you for the gifts.
Yeah.
I would love to see more of us as humans, independent of however you identify, be more supportive of each other.
Yeah.
It's necessary. I mean, like I said, there's healthy forms of competition.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it's good building.
At the pinnacle is collaboration, right? And what we strive to do sometimes. I feel like the reason why we are in competition sometimes is mainly because we want we like something that a person does, and we don't know how to tell them, especially as men.
Yeah.
And we don't know how to tell them, like, hey, I like them shoes, right? We don't know how to tell them, like, hey, I like those shades.
Right.
So we get around women and we kind of try to break down your light. We kind of try to cast shadows at your light.
Right.
Where if if we had more genuine respect for each other and say what we liked, we'll learn more. We can operate in a more conducive manner. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
So I have some questions for you.
Yeah.
Oh, what are the everyday rituals that give you satisfaction or happiness, internally based? Like, what are your internal processes that give you that groundedness that comes off?
Well, it's definitely a practice. One is being present for myself and my kids. So that's an internal thing that I have to do, and it's not always easy because when you have young kids, like, your energy is depleted, but they also fill you up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like Superman when I can wake up and see them, right? So I can feel like is the mission is deeper than myself. I gather energy. I don't care if I got an hour and a half of sleep. I'm about to show up, right?
Do you ever have sleepless nights when you're with your children where, like, you have chores or tasks you need to fulfill, and then you're also in a protective mode when they're sleeping? Do you ever go through sleepless nights?
Oh yeah, I definitely do that. There was an issue at the last place I lived at up in Antioch, and I just had to go full protective mode, security, dad on lockdown on the whole house, and I didn't go to sleep. So that was fine though, because I knew, like, the Most High wouldn't put me in this position without me being ready. A lot of what before I had kids I feared, I don't fear anymore, because all that fear has been broken down, because everything is not given to me, but it's also, I'm not going to put you in this predicament without giving you the support that you need. But to go back to the practices, the internal practices, I try to meditate every day. I run hills, I run the block. I also try to write a poem. When I'm at a lot of poems, I'm not just a poet, right? This is a lifeline. Right. A lot of poems that I write never see the air, right? I just write because it's on my mind, and I don't always have the people to talk to say what I actually want to say. So I keep it in that little iPhone, right? And I just jot my thoughts down, and then I go to work in a shower when I pray. And then it's the meditation. And then when I can, I'm reading and stuff like that. So there's a formula that I notice within myself of working out, reading, praying, meditation, and doing something for others that makes me whole. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, that's why there's resonance in the space. Like, it comes off, man. Like, I catch feelings, bro. Like, I feel filled up. You know what I mean? Hearing you speak about those things. Right. Whew. Yeah. No, for real. Because healthy energy to me is like healthy energy to me is like empowering. It's like it breaks down like being able to take the defensiveness that we all have, wanting safety. Yeah. And just feel vulnerable and open. Like, when I'm learning something, I start getting teary-eyed. Like, I love teachers. Yeah. I love people who I can learn something from. I love positive influences. Right. Like, I remember when I first started smoking tree, like, on the dope spot. Yeah. You know, just kicking it with the hustlers. Yeah. And I remember I would smoke weed with them. Yeah. And, like, my body would start shaking. It was like my nervous system was like, this ain't right. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? But then there's another voice like, you little bitch. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like,
You supposed to be cool right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
You supposed to be.
Clientele.
You supposed to be.
Right. And I remember like I'd be like, like why am I? My body just. And then eventually, okay, now the drink comes out. Now I'm putting another depressant on top of it. Now I'm not shaking so much. Now I'm getting numb. You know, now clientele coming back and forth, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm just an observer. I'm just kicking it with my peoples. You know what I mean? Like I'm not in this, but I'm like, you know what I mean? We're chop.
Yeah.
Didn't feel like I was learning anything. And what I was taking on was like feelings that would only make me want to numb myself more.
Damn.
And I recognized the influence I was taking.
Damn.
And it was like, damn, man.
Yeah.
And it took me experiencing a trauma by being an innocent bystander in the lie of fire.
Yeah.
For me to be like, damn, bro, you're kind of off. You're off course right now.
Yeah.
And there was another ego death moment.
Wow.
It was like a near death experience.
Wow.
Staring down the barrel of a 9mm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Somebody pointing at me like, bitch ass nigga.
Yeah.
And it's like, where am I?
Yeah.
And all I saw was my son in diapers, and my whole life flashed. And I was like, wow. Completely opposite of the feeling I feel when you're telling me about your rituals. Yeah. But I'm able to see the extreme contrast between those polarities of positive influence and other influence. Yeah. They'll have me like wanting to numb myself out, have me having flashbacks of grade school, having me having flashbacks of these traumas that I really don't want to carry into a season where I might crash out if those same triggers start snapping, because hey, we're in a real world where hey, the stimulation comes from outside mostly. We got these eyes, ears, nose, we got these fingers, right? Yeah. But we have an internal divine network. Yes. That goes, you know what I mean, all the way through you that nobody can see and touch, and that's where heaven is. That's where heaven is. But we have to help ourselves to get there, though. Yeah. Enough not to let the outside world pervert the purity that exists within us. Yeah. The sacred energy that exists within us.
You said a couple of times influences. Mm-hmm. And depending on what you believe in spiritually, sometimes people break down influences as like possession. Okay. They'll be like, when you can't shake something, that influences possession. Of another entity, especially like you being on a block and you know what I mean, you smoking a little weed, you getting a little numb, you know, you in a hot spot, you feel me? And you can feel those influences around you even more. But it seems like also that you wasn't supposed to be there. You know what I mean? Kind of in a sense, like, yeah. But with free will and choice, we can rebel against that internal compass that says, hey, you're not supposed to be here, and be like, I'm good. But are you? And that's a question that nobody can answer. It's the same as the 9-year-old that I was on the playground who was like, I'm not a nigga. Yeah. Nigga, if you ain't no nigga, you a white boy. Come on, why are you doing that? Why do I have to choose between this and that? Why can't I just be me? Yeah. Why can't I just be me? Yeah. Can I just be me and not need you? Why do we get to tell someone what they are? What gives anyone the right to do that? And to me, that comes from the primary temperament of the original influencers over any human being who's been incarnated on Earth. The masculine male or the feminine female, or the combination of both, standing over a child being like, you saw this. Oh, you know, that's just my stupid one. Oh, that's just, and I'm taking on the female role when I do this because most of my trauma came from females, like, that I wanted acceptance from. And a lot of this in not just to tie it back to slavery, but the institutionalization of slavery was demeaning your kids so they won't get extra work from the slave master and stuff like that. So especially with the women, the white slave catcher bring his nasty ass over there and be like, "Ooh, she looking kind of good," and that's the daughter. Oh, she not. She ugly as all hell. And we pass that.
Oh,
We
I
play
never.
just like on Dr. DeGroy's book is passing stress and trauma through the placenta, and like all of this generational trauma that we
Right.
yeah.
I never thought of it that way. Attempting to make the child less desirable to the
Yeah.
person who might exploit them.
Exactly.
So castigating the child or pushing the child down to protect the child.
It was a defense
I guess
mechanism.
that's the same as moms beat me with the stick, being like, "I'm doing this for your own good."
Yep.
Right? It's like,
Yeah.
so that you're always in line. Unfortunately, now I start to connect. My nervous system connects pain and trauma with love. Come on, man. Where do I go with that?
Yeah.
And if I want a woman's love, now I have to take
The pain.
the pain also.
Yeah.
And my nervous system, based on the initial wiring, is going to just refire
Yeah.
those same synaptics that lead to me feeling a certain way. And if I don't like the way I feel, I can just numb myself out.
Right.
Come on. It just becomes a never ending cycle of like
Yep.
replaying. And I'm trying to get off. I'm off that hamster wheel.
Huh.
I'm off of it. I like in the
part.
last few weeks, I've just been like having complete negatively charged emotions. If you return to something negative, just to confirm that it's still there, all you're gonna do is be scaring yourself. And hopefully some of these things help someone break out of some deep depression, because I've
sure.
been in it. I was in it 2 days ago.
Huh.
But I've come to this place where it's like free will is I can choose my emotions as well. I can choose in my memory bank which experience to recall.
Yeah.
I remember when I was emasculated by a young lady on a school campus, and it destroyed me.
Talk about it.
And then I remembered a couple days later, one of the young hustlers who called me a bitch ass nigga every day, like all through school, to the point where it's like, and I was always like, I'm not gonna fight you over your words. Those are your words. You choose your words. That's a reflection of you. That's not me. But that shit sunk in my subconscious. So there's parts of me that be like, you bitch ass nigga, and it's not my words. It's his words.
Yeah.
The projection.
Yeah.
So these negatively charged emotions, right? And these memories and recollections. But I remember this one day where that same dude challenged me to a one-on-one basketball game, and I schooled him. And I was not really good at, my handles were not really good, but for some reason that particular day I had enough of being verbally beat down by him.
Yeah.
So like all the skills unlocked on this one day, and he was,
Yeah.
he was like probably near 6 foot. I was like 5'4" at the time, because I'm 9 or 10 years old, or somewhere in that adolescent range. And I remember I schooled him. It was like playing 21, hit every shot I made, shook him this way, shook him that way. So like this week I had to break through that I was replaying this narrative of being emasculated on the campus by people who I wanted acceptance from.
Right.
And by me desiring acceptance, I accepted their words as accurate to my identity. So there's a part of me that battles that projection of people whose parents and influences were beating them down. So I'm taking on other people's generational traumas.
Yeah.
And I'm internalizing it and now somehow living it out as a 50-year-old.
Yeah.
That ain't right.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this ain't right.
Yeah.
And I've come to just accept it. If this is what being black is,
I don't want to do it. Yeah.
give me sacred energy.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
give me sacred energy XY. Let's be sacred with it. That's
Yeah.
why I choose my words very carefully when I talk to my children.
Yeah.
When people ask me about their opinion about X, Y, and Z, if it's really not my lane, I stay out of it. Because if I project my perception based on a program, a social program, people's perceptions, or what someone else has said about them, I'm adding to the problem. All I can do is uplift or accept and observe and learn, but I don't want to become the problem in the process of socializing or vocalizing my perceptions, because I've had a unique experience, but I definitely don't want anyone to go through what I've experienced. I would rather extract the lesson and then uplift using alternative language, energy, intention.
Yeah. Have you read the book, The Four Agreements?
a long time ago. I could need to reread it. Don't take anything personally. Always do your best. Be impeccable with your word.
Yep.
And the fourth one is, what's the fourth one?
Was it? Always do your best. Do not
love unconditionally. Or I don't. There's the fourth one.
I forgot.
I know
too.
it's be impeccable with your word. Always do your best. Don't take anything personally. And the fourth one always evades me.
Yeah. I'm gonna put it. Yeah. Can we Google it? Yeah. But the reason why I brought it up is I started doing this thing, my own thing called terms and agreements. It was kind of like a spinoff of the 4 agreements. And what do you consciously and subconsciously agree with? And it makes me think about like your story of when you were younger and people calling you names and doing X, Y, and Z. It's funny you just said X, Y, and Z.
It's
right?
cool. It's good. That's influence. See, that's influence. It's we be like, no, go ahead. Yeah. I'm listening. Yeah.
And so it was just like it was one of them type. I'm thinking like what do we consciously and subconsciously agree to? And a lot of stuff like in our families, we subconsciously agree to certain things in our family that our moms and our dads put in our head. But when we get older, we can rewire that information. And a lot of times you become the black sheep of the family is because you start breaking generational curses. You stop where grandma might have not stopped talking to cousin because you found out cousin was gay, but you start talking back to cousin because you like, man, that shit is stupid. Right. We want to foster a better relationship with you. It ain't about what you like. It's about you as a person.
Right.
And you start breaking that down. And I think that's very important in the age we are, is because when we start to realize like this is just not a me issue. This is a lineage, a generation that came before us that we all have to do our jobs to kind of, uproot.
Yep. It gets into, I mean, that's a deep one. That's a very relevant topic. I could wrap that around childhood trauma as well. Mm-hmm. When I went to those public schools, there was a young man named Carlos. Mm-hmm. And I haven't told the story of Carlos very often because it was traumatizing to me as well. Carlos was a little Mexican child because we were all 9 or 10 years old. Mm-hmm. And Carlos was extremely effeminate, but he was also very kind. Mm-hmm. And I went into public school, and Salim was my middle name, but when I went to the public school, I took my first name, Charlie. So Charlie is Carlos in Spanish. And Carlos was hella cool. And out of all the people on campus, Carlos was the one who wasn't calling me a bitch-ass nigga. But he was homosexual. Well, maybe he wasn't, I don't know, but
he was different.
Walking home with him one day, going over the ramp of Willow Road, Menlo Park to East Menlo Park. We cut to the right through Midtown. Yeah. And Carlos starts talking to me, and Carlos invites me to his house, and he's like, how do you feel about school? How do you feel about, the people there? And I'm like, it's not really cool. Like, I'm really not feeling it, like, yeah, they're kind of mean, huh? Yeah. I'm like, yeah, it's pretty, And Carlos, he starts talking to me about masturbation. And I'm like, I didn't know nothing to, like I say, I'm not sexualized at all. I'm like, I don't really know what you're talking about. He's like, oh yeah, well, my uncle taught me how. You want to come to my house? Wow. And I was like, it's like, goosebumps. Wow. And then all the other things that were said to me by the people who were emasculating me, who were black. Yeah. Now I'm with this Latino young male, and he invites me to come in to masturbate with his uncle. Wow. And I was like stripped. Wow. Like, talk about that empty feeling, that dark sunken place, that vortex of hell. Yeah. I don't want to be here no more, dude. I'm cool, Carlos. Like, nah, Yeah. I'm going home. Yeah. Like, yeah. But I was like, sometimes I mourn his childhood and mine because it was his uncle. Yes, yeah. And it didn't make me feel any less of him. It made me scared for myself. Wow. You know what I mean? Because people, who have power over children, who superimpose when you don't have a choice.
Yeah.
You're going to turn out to be a product of what you were exposed to or how you were treated. And so for the person who identifies as homosexual or gay and who has had childhood trauma that has never been, or maybe has been acknowledged, well, I would say at least now maybe he has control over it, because I know, for instance, when my mom was whooping my ass, I didn't have a choice. No more than probably Carlos didn't have a choice when his uncle was playing with him. But the question is, are you going to perpetuate the behavior to get control of that demon? Or are you going to acknowledge the fact, are we going to acknowledge the fact that we experienced trauma as children, and are we going to use our free will to perpetuate it or to break the cycle?
Exactly.
Without judging.
Yeah.
Without judging, but it's like a pause and reflect moment, though.
Again, these influences don't like the light shined on it, right? So these are dark places, so we protect it.
We protect it.
We go through a lot of things that we never tell anybody about because we hear that voice in our head. Man, if you say that out loud, what's gonna happen to you? But I'm already being toe up in the inside by all of this shame, this guilt, this pain.
Exactly.
And what's the worst that's gonna happen if I just say it? You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think, again, why I started poetry.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because I go up there and I'm gonna say the shit. You know what I mean? And I appreciate you for telling that story,
and
because
I applaud you. It's taken years. I've been waiting, like, you know what I mean? Because these are things that it's like some things I refuse to write down also.
Yeah.
I'm vocalizing it, so now we're doing the oral tradition.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And capturing it on digital, so it's out there now.
Yeah.
Some of these things have to be reconciled.
But it's also gonna break something. It's gonna break a chain somewhere, right? Because somebody's gonna have that same story and somebody's gonna think about it like, man, that shit wasn't okay. Right? Somebody's gonna think about it, even if they the person doing that shit, gonna be like, oh, damn. You know what I mean? It's just, you just gotta call this shit out sometimes.
Right. It's like, I think that people, every child deserves a choice.
Yeah.
Or the question I would have is, who were you before you were influenced by, what was the young man's name who offered you the joint?
LB, yeah.
LB. Who were you before you looked up to LB? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who are you before you looked up to anyone besides moms and pops?
Yeah.
Or grandma and grandpa, or great grandma and great grandpa?
That's a deeper question.
So I try to return to that sacred innocent space.
Yeah.
Which is why I check myself on lusting. Lusting over anything. Someone has, I saw a Lamborghini the other day, and I was like, damn, a Lamborghini.
Yeah.
I got in my feminine. I was like, ooh,
ooh, that
Lamborghini.
Can I be shotgun in it?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
right?
For sure.
You know, what I'm saying is these external things that give us an attachment that makes us feel a certain way.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, but who were you before you had those attachments? It was really basic.
Yeah.
It was like, give me my color pens, my paper, in 2 hours. Yeah. And I'm gonna draw something, and I could be like, here, look at my picture. And then somebody like, shut the fuck up, nigga, that shit's garbage.
Right.
It's garbage. But I like it. Shut your bitch ass up, nigga.
Right.
I'm going to put my gifts and hide my gifts, because every time I show them, someone is... Now I'm taking shots. Bow, 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 bow. I'm taking shots from wanting to share my gifts with community. And community is like, fuck that bitch ass nigga. And it's like, bruh, I can't, blood, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm cool. Like, so let me just now shrink. And this is the shrink yourself part of this podcast. Yeah. Where we start to shrink ourselves to fit in the box that makes everybody else feel comfortable.
I did that a lot.
Me too.
I did that a lot, and I just felt disgusting after I did that. And like, now it's more, that's why I'm more intentional about how I use my time and the people I hang out with. Yep. Is because it's like when you was talking about being on a block, your nervous system, even when I'm out with a young lady, you know what I mean, a female, and if I don't feel like my nervous system is comforted with her, I don't like her. I don't care how she looks. It's not that I don't like her as a person. I don't like the connection that we have. And the same with friends. If I gotta fake it, if it feels forced, if my connection, it just has to be more intentional now. You know. So
Yeah. I mean, that's real. I remember after I experienced the honor of a very hostile divorce, I was like celibate for 2 years.
Dang,
like maybe even longer. And when I did start dating, it was the same thing.
Yeah.
I kicked it with a young lady, brought her out to a wine tasting spot in Oakland.
Yeah.
Paid for everything, did my best to impress her, but I saw early she couldn't be impressed. And I started feeling like I was dealing with the young ladies on from the playground, and from that age, and it was like, wow, I can resonate with that. It's like I can't force it,
Yeah.
I have an extremely low body count, you know what I mean? Like I believe,
Yeah.
I've always felt that way. Like I remember when I was coming up, the stamp of approval for young black men was how many females they could knock.
Exactly.
Or
Talk
look, I'm
about
gonna
it.
get at his bitch when he ain't there, and then now that nigga's mad, I'm gonna whoop his ass. It's like the call of the jungle, where it's like, by fighting over a woman, now the woman goes with the one who defeats the others as though we're lions. And I mean, there is a jungle system to dating and love, and I guess that could get into what we talked about earlier about people pushing each other down.
Yeah.
I was more wired towards, well, you might not be for me, but Swerve's handsome though. He got nice freckles, and you might vibe with him. You ain't for me, but hey, I got a friend who's single. Because I also see women as sisters. I have a sister. I love you. I don't know where you are. I love you. But because I had a sister, I can't objectify a woman. I see a woman as a responsibility.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to be responsible for whatever I generate with this person. So I could see something really fly and really sassy, but every time I've tried to like vibe with something that I like, it hasn't been what's really good for me. It hasn't been what's good for me.
Yeah.
I can't do the baddie. She's too bad for me.
Is it something you like, or is it something they telling you should like? Right?
I
like I like to go into it. I like the fat ass, light skin, long hair, the things that the videos have told us, the rappers have told us we are supposed to have.
Shout out Toosh Magooch, where you at?
Superheads and stuff like that. But it's like, are we just taking these things, or we're not trying to find the time as men to figure out what kind of women do we actually appreciate?
Fair enough. And that gets into capitalism, colonialism.
Come on.
And objectification.
Come on.
And then exploitation.
Because our love has been colonized.
We writing poems over here, y'all. Y'all just caught the first 4 bars of the collaboration between Swerve and Sexy.
Yeah, feel me.
Yeah, man. So all of the above. So it's like, if I have to be super thug to attract the baddie.
Yeah. I know.
Now I'm gonna be. Now I'm gonna be.
Yeah.
Now my nervous system is doing that, and you know what? I ain't gonna be able to perform for her.
Nah.
Because when we're in the room together, I'm gonna be worried about ski mask knocking at the door like, knock, knock, knock. That's not your bitch, nigga. You just got caught with your pants down, dusted and disgusted.
And then it's always
you know what I'm talking about? Y'all know what I'm talking about, man. Don't get trapped.
And then it's also like this too. Like, I don't know if y'all dating, but like, if you go on a date with it kind of like, women always, when you gonna take me out? When you gonna take me out? When we gonna go somewhere? But it's always also feel like you want me to perform for you. You want me to put on this extra charisma.
Oh, what about?
You want me to hold the door open.
I shouldn't have to ask. What about that line? I shouldn't have to ask. Wow. And then let's talk about the versus being a man and needing consent or wanting consent. I mean, unless you're paying for it, and then it's gonna see what I'm saying. It gets real complicated.
It's
So
applied by the
it's a
dollar.
lot, man. It's a lot. That's a whole. That could be. I think we could do a whole different podcast about
Yeah,
the
yeah.
love realm, and we'd have to probably invite a woman because
Yeah.
another thing that happens is we get into this thing where. Especially in the ethnic communities, women be like, "Look, I don't care who you date, but just don't talk about black women." I've seen this online, and I'm like, "No," and I respect it though because nor do I want to be put in a box because there is exceptions to every because now we're getting into stereo. You know, it gets
Yeah.
because no, there are highly intelligent women who are independent and
Definitely.
don't want a man to be overly responsible for them. All they want is someone to show up and spend quality time.
Yeah.
You know, they do exist. Where are y'all?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think
I
like
got a good one for you right here. He's right there.
I think it's important that we do put this out here in the kind of stuff that we do like, so it won't just run with the other narrative, right? And this is not even just a narrative; it's your personal preference. It's your personal preference as you is a personal preference as me in wanting a woman that's intelligent, that has higher beliefs and values and has moral and character, that's ambitious, that's loving, that tells you the truth, that can, every relationship is a reflection. So just wanting those certain things,
So do you have any pimping in you?
I do.
You do?
I do.
Okay, so I just have questions then, because the thing about pimping to me is like polyamory. I'll say like if you
okay.
if you had a woman who was loyal to you and faithful but had interest in going on a date with another man, would you be okay with her going out with another man and potentially making love, having sex, or fucking him and come back to you? Would you be okay with that?
I have to pause. I'll say no.
Right.
I will say no. And as a person that always said that he believes in polygamy, when you see it on the other side, you gonna be like, hell no. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's really not much of a difference from what I've been through before, and people have not said it to me, and I found out.
See? Exactly.
But I'm a very open-minded person. I'm a Libra, so I'm a balance. I try to be as balanced as I can. So if you were to tell me that and you was to be forthcoming, I have nothing to do. The P in me is gonna respect it.
Right. Then you have a choice at least, right?
I have a choice if I want to do it. I've been in situations like that. Now but you got to come to me. You got to come to me whole with it though.
Right.
I come to you whole with it.
Right.
And if we still mess with each other at the end of the day, I think we got all the bullshit out of the way. That's half of the bullshit. People worried about cheating. People worried about who you with, X, Y, and Z.
Right.
Most of the arguments in a relationship is infidelity when it comes to amongst men. So if we can get that out of the way, we probably can have a more genuine connection.
Right. So I appreciate that answer because you actually do have some P in you then.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean? I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. Me, I don't think I have any of it because I'm like, if somebody else touched it,
you don't want it?
I mean, I'm a Leo.
Okay. Oh, that's why I mess with you. Some of my best friends are Leos, man.
Yeah,
Lions. Shout out to the Lions.
I mean, I just from a very young age, if somebody stood over me while I was eating a bowl of soup, and they're like, "Is the soup good?" I'd be like, "You just breathed on it. I don't want it no more."
Yeah.
Maybe it's just my temperament. I'm sensitive. I'm a sensitive person, you know. So when my son's mother was with another man and I suspected it, I asked her multiple times, do you have another man when you're jumping on these planes going to the Dominican Republic? And multiple times she said, no, I just need to get away from you. It's just the stress and I just need to think for myself and I just need to get myself together. I said, well, when you finish having fun and doing what you're doing, come back to the family. We have 2 sons to raise. But my nervous system was like, oh.
For sure.
She would go on the trips, and then I would look in the little lingerie thing, and then lingerie would be missing. I was like, oh.
Come on now.
And I was like, this has gone completely wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She would get back from her trips, and she'd be like, I don't care if you find somebody else. It's okay. You know, if you need to move on. I'm just here for the boys. And I'm like, because all I wanted was a family, a unified unit, right?
Yeah.
And I'm unpacking some bags right now, best for therapy, but we're gonna use it that way.
Let's go.
But when it got down to it, all I said was just tell me the truth, please.
Yeah.
Because if this is just something you're doing, get it out of your system. But come back to this family. And this is the one and only woman I'd ever made love to my whole life. Because like I said, I like saved my sacred XY. I saved it for like the ideal.
Come on, ladies. Come on. Listen.
And then when it went completely south and she went with the alternative, I went through ego death ×3. Wow. I started painting my fingernails. You know what I mean? I moved back to my pop's house. My sister had some fingernail polish. I started painting my fingernails, man. I was like, dude, painting my fingernails black at first, all black, gothic, like this is the death of me.
Yeah.
And then I started painting my fingernails green. Yeah. Because then I was like, I could chroma key and I could do some videos where I flip the camera off and I could superimpose her face on my middle finger. Yeah. And then I started painting my fingernails red, red, black, and green. I started painting my fingernails all sorts of colors, and then people in the hood started being like, that nigga's gay. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And I was like, believe me, sex is the last thing on my mind right now. I have gone through being gutted by the woman I love the most. Yeah. And then the young lady who the second woman I made love to, because I said I have a very small body count. It's most teenagers have more bodies than I do to this day. The second woman who I dated was like, if you just take that nail polish off, you can come over and get it tonight. Acetone.
Let's go.
End of that chapter, man. But I wish her well.
Yeah.
It was conditional and transactional, and she shook me, and that's when I started playing with the puppet. Yeah. Around that same time, I was like, you know what? Yeah. This is my best friend. This is my protector. And that's when I started using my imagination and my creativity to be the weirdo on camera right now. You know what I mean? I've had so many silly ass experiences that, like, talking about it now, it's like I feel liberated in it. But it wasn't pretty. Those are the dark nights of the soul they talk about on them chosen videos. Yeah. They'd be on the algorithm, be like, nah, I'm actually not chosen. It's not about being chosen. It's choosing yourself or your connection to something higher than yourself and being true to that inner child that I believe makes us potentially.
For sure.
Potentially.
For sure. I believe all men, I don't believe you truly become a man until you had heartbreak. Got your heart broken by a woman. Yeah. And I was going to ask you along those lines, what was, maybe you mentioned it, but to say it again and identify it, what was your rites of passage as a man?
Oh, funny you asked. That's a great question. Mm-hmm. There was a program called Rites of Passage.
I remember that program.
Yes. Yeah. My aunt sponsored me into it, and I participated one year as a very young man. Mm-hmm. It was like an African rites.
Yeah.
You meet like at a city hall or something.
Yeah.
They give you a certificate. They would talk about dignity, respect. Mm-hmm. When the orator would graduate a young man in the Rites of Passage program, they would make sure to introduce each person uniquely based on their qualities. Mm-hmm. So they'd be like, this brother Swerve, if I were to imitate it, would be like, this brother Swerve is thoughtful, grounded, self-aware, empowered, enlightened. And in addition to that, he's aware of the programs in place that would keep us being less than ourselves. On this day, Swerve is initiated as a man in this ceremony we call Rites of Passage as the one we acknowledge as one of the best poets in the Bay Area. And then everyone would clap. And having a man, an elder, speak life into us as young men, I get those goosebumps, It's like, wow, they believe in me. And I believe in myself. And that's external influence that's uplifting. It spirals up. So that was kind of my rites of passage, was having that experience. And then identifying with people who have the capacity to get on that level where it feels like we're spiraling up.
Yeah.
Because depending on how I use my subconscious mind, there's a lot of negatively charged programming in relation to who we are as humans. Because I like, sometimes I like to say it's not what's between your legs, it's what's between your ears.
Yeah.
Getting on those topics of gender and identity and all these things. It's really not between what your legs, it's what's in your head that determines how you polarize your energy and define man.
Yeah.
You know, I'm learning that. Like, I feel like a student of life. So did that answer your question?
It did answer my question.
So I would ask you the same question. What would you say were your rites of passage into manhood?
I loved yours, but I wouldn't say mine was the most positive.
Okay.
Well, the reason why, just to give you a little bit of backstory before I answer that, the reason why I asked that is because, you know, when you watch Roots and Kunta Kinte went to go get that drum and he had to go, he had to go catch a hog or something before he got it. That was their rites of passage. And I feel like our community, we don't really have a universal rites of passage for our young men nowadays. So they go out and try to find out where their manhood is, like catching a body or something, right? Anyway, I'll say this because this is, even though it's traumatic, my life changed. I was shot in 2010, and you know, that really changed me. It took away some of my innocence. As a young man, I was 21 years old. So it took away a lot of who I thought I was and what I thought the world to be, bright-eyed, and I lost some of that inner child. Now, the thing is I had to rebuild that inner child and find that inner child again. And from that moment, it wasn't even just that part. It was the stuff that happened after that, you know, in my life, and getting kicked out of school, and you know, getting kicked out of my apartment, and many fights on the streets, and all of this stuff that wasn't ever me. It wasn't ever part of who I am as a person. But it was to see who I became, and then look at that person in hindsight and be like, I needed that to happen so I can be who I am right now, and to know that I am strong, to know that I am a vessel for my people, and to know that I am divinely protected, and to know that it's much more. It's not a period, but it's a comma to this story. And it was just, I say that because that really woke me up. It woke me the fuck up to what I was doing, who I am, and the company that I keep, and what I should be doing, because I was using my potential completely wrong. I was following the crowd. I was trying to fit in. And not because I did something to somebody that happened to me, is because I wasn't aligned that happened to me.
Thank you for sharing that. I got a movie reel going on in my mind right now of moments where I was invited to be a part of rituals or rites that would have compromised perhaps my manhood. Context would be like it was like the choice.
Yeah.
It was like the choice when it's like, walk through these doors.
Exactly.
Similar to the Carlos story, except this would be amongst young people drinking Bacardi 151 at a house party, and there's a young lady who disappeared in a room with like 3 or 4 brothers and was like, "Hey, come in here, bruh."
Yeah.
You know, and it's like,
yeah.
"Come in here, you bitch ass nigga."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, you ain't gonna hit it. You ain't gonna.
And then what? Like, climb in bed with y'all? How am I gonna come out the same way? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I'm not gonna be able to return. I'm not gonna return the same child that I was.
That's true.
I like being drunk, and this is a cool party, and she's really thick, but there's not enough of her for all of us. And I don't like people breathing over my bowl, bruh. But those are other little rites of passage where I saw the fork in the road, like, come on, Salim, what you doing?
Yeah.
Where are you at and who are you with?
Yeah.
You know, and then of course my great grandmother's voice popping up in my head. So, but there were a lot of women who helped me become the young man I am, and there were a fair amount of positive male influences as well. And shout out to my demons, you know, because were it not for them, I would never have to battle free will in the way I still do. You know, it's like, because it's way too prevalent nowadays. It's way too easy.
It's way too easy.
It's way too easy. The dopamine, the endorphins, the distractions. I'd be like, I had to, you know, shout out to the platforms, but I had to uninstall the platform because I find myself in intimate relations, and I'm sitting here astral projecting into relationships I'm not in based on my swipey swipe.
Come on now.
And it's making imprints on my subconscious that are affecting my ability to be present with the person I'm with.
Come on now.
I'm seeing somebody else's face because I'm thinking about what I was just looking at. Wow. That it's like, come on, Mr. Impression.
Yeah.
At least honor the person you're with by because you don't have to sleep with a side chick to have one nowadays.
Yeah.
You could just look at her. It depends on how vivid your mind works. I have a vivid. My mind is a vivid
But I mean, you can also manifest. I don't know if you ever had that type of experience where you seen somebody and you know you thought she was attractive and she ran laps through your mind and you end up being on those. Like,
that's right. That gets into the be careful what you ask for, because in many ways when you're actually aligned
your energy,
and your intention is in the right place, you can pretty much have what you want.
You can. That's the power of manifestation.
Yeah.
People don't understand how real that shit is. You know what I mean?
It is. It's very real.
Yeah.
I get it. So on that note, okay. Oh man, this makes me think about gratitude. Because I always try to, and I know we're probably like, we're running this into a full-on movie now. but really, and I have time. But but for real, like, this is awesome. Okay. All right, cool. All right, excellent. Gratitude, like, all I wanted was like a book full of rhymes.
Yeah.
A Lexus.
Come on.
And a loyal relationship with someone I could trust.
Yeah.
All I wanted was maybe a couple rings,
a
nice chain, and clean clothes and hot home cooked food. I had a fairy tale in my mind that someone else would provide these things, but when I got it for myself, it felt a lot better. But if I'm not grateful for it, I'm going to keep on seeking something outside of myself.
Wow.
And it'll become a bottomless pit. And I'll never be satisfied if I don't have gratitude. And so I'm learning in my more mature years, stop lusting, chasing, wanting, desiring things that are outside of my original wish list. Because I can have it if I want it, but am I going to be able to look in the mirror and respect that man once I do? What it takes to get it. And once I got it, am I going to want to keep it or be responsible? Or am I going to want to narcissistically devalue and discard it? Because we can do that nowadays. It's like, all I did was pay. Well, people got jokes about you could buy pussy for $40. I'm not in that realm. I know to the pimps out there, the real ones. Whoo. I was like, man, that's some affection is priceless. I can't pay for it. And if that makes it so that I'm not fit to date, then that's just, I'll just be alone in my room meditating, writing poetry with my puppet. Until I attract that which is fitting for me. And if I have someone who loves me, then I'm going to be loyal to that and just see where it goes. But gratitude is big. Gratitude is a big one. Being grateful for what we already have. It's like, you know what I mean? Like your sweater, like, you know what I mean? Like, you wanted those shoes, you got those shoes. You know, you could buy another 3 pair, but you already got it. You're fly as is. Swerve, you're fly as is.
Appreciate it.
So nobody can take that away from you.
Right. Yeah, and I'm understanding gratitude every day, and especially when you think you don't have anything to be grateful for. You know, I'm grateful for being here and in presence. I'm grateful for the Oakland podcast studio. Not just saying this for reaching out, and we actually made this happen because I've been talking back and forth with them online, and I can also say like I've been through a lot over the past year, but I'm also appreciative of what I've been through because man, the elevation and the demons that I slayed this year is money can't buy this shit. The level of peace that I'm operating in, money can't buy this shit. So like even in the midst of war, like being grateful, I can pick up my sword and still go. Being grateful, I can throw a rock and still hit some shit. Is what I'm grateful for. So I appreciate that, man, and just bringing gratitude into the space because gratitude is by far one of the most important things that you can have.
Well spoken. And I also want to say that I'm glad that you survived. I'm glad you survived
Appreciate
that
it.
2010 experience. I'm glad I've
Appreciate
had the honor of meeting you in person, and I'm very grateful for this conversation.
For sure.
This is like the goal. This is like the goal post.
Yeah.
We just kicked the ball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, from the 50-yard line.
Yeah.
We split the middle,
Yeah.
and I feel like a more balanced person after having this conversation
For
with you.
sure. For sure.
I really appreciate you.
It's definitely filling the cup. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
Like replenishing. You know what I mean? And I think I don't believe in coincidences. I believe everything happens for a reason. And thank you for taking the call. You feel me?
Right.
That's all it takes sometimes.
Yeah, it's true. Like there sometimes there are opportunities that we stumble on, and like the subconscious just says like, I'm gonna say yes, but I'm not gonna do it. And reading these books about cognitive behavior, attaining the higher self, according to some psychologists, is when we align our thoughts and our actions.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then let's put word on top of it. So
Yep.
I appreciate the invitation. When you invited me, I was instantly like, yes.
Yeah.
And then when I woke up this morning, the little voice in my head that was like, you really want to do this?
Yeah.
I stayed true to that
Yeah.
action and intention, and here we are. So I'm
For
grateful
sure.
for your time, and my cup has been filled today.
For sure. Say your piece, man. We here with Celine. Sexy set.
Fourth agreement for y'all too.
Oh, for sure. Let's go.
Make assumptions.
Don't make assumptions. Yeah.
But do we have 2 more minutes about assumptions?
Yeah.
Nah, for real. Don't
real
make
quick.
assumptions.
Yeah.
No, I mean that's it. I'm good. But
Yeah.
but I wrote something in my journal. Can I share it with you?
Yeah,
All right.
for sure.
This was my yesterday breakthrough.
Okay.
When I was in the backyard, doing my calisthenics.
Yeah.
I was doing my calisthenics, having a nervous breakdown yesterday.
I like that book
Keeping my
too.
promise. Thank you. Lesson 1. Desiring acceptance from communities or individuals who do not value growth, wisdom, love, or health will get you hurt every time.
Damn.
Lesson 2. Internalizing expectations, projections, accusations, perceptions, suggestions, assumptions, and labels from communities or individuals who do not value growth, wisdom, love, or health will program you to compromise, reject, overanalyze, second guess, sabotage, or hurt yourself in the name of belonging for acceptance. Lesson 3. If for acceptance you participate in energetic exchanges with communities or individuals whose offerings induce feelings of doubt, shame, anxiety, pain, discomfort, anger, fear, apathy, or hatred, and you willfully participate in behaviors or adopt their ways, you have allowed external social needs or desires to compromise your birthrights and connection to the divine. And lastly, desire the divine within your vessel and improve your mind and body through activities expanding growth, wisdom, love, health, and be sexy.
Man, come on now. And that's how we gonna end it here at the Say Yo Peace podcast. I thank y'all for all tuning in. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you too, brother. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Yeah. Yeah.
For sure.